Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy cars to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up.
Hey guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Giggs on Football, Series 1, Episode number 4, flying through the episodes. We are live on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter, Ace Podcast Nation. Of course, your home to many great shows and series featuring top guests, expert analysts and more. So please do give us a follow, subscribe to that YouTube channel, click the bell for notifications. And if you prefer your podcast in audio format, check us out on the Sports Social Podcast Network, the UK's first sports-dedicated network of podcasts, as it were. You can find all the shows produced by Ace Podcast Nation there. And do give them a check them out, download the audio versions, all the previous shows and episodes. Helps us out a lot. And just as we wait for a few of the latecomers to the party, as it were, we're supporting a charity Super 6 League this season, helping raise money for two great charities, Maggie's Centre and Mind. There's been no change since the show I did Monday, but a quick rundown of the football players. Chloe Griffith, ex-Cardiff City legend, is up there at the top. Jeff Stelling second. Andy Campbell, Willie Boland, Andy Legg, and then myself. But, of course, Rhodri Giggs has joined and he has flown in with a whopping, I think it was 14 points this week, showing everybody that he's coming to take over the party, I think. But on that note...
Is that good, that 14?
That's a good week, mate, that is. Like, I think anything over 10 is solid. But, like, I think you had 14, which is 12 it was. I've just been corrected. But you had the prediction of Cardiff 0, Bournemouth 1 as well. So, good week. But, joining me as ever, my co-host, it is the man himself, Ex Salford City winger and manager, Mr. Rhodri Giggs. You all right, buddy?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, mate, I'm all good. In your new studio as well.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's,
suave.
Yeah,
Suave.
They give me the wrong Wi-Fi code, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So
if Rhodri suddenly disappears like halfway through, it's because... his phone's got out of battery because it's powering his Wi-Fi. But it looks fresh, mate. It looks good. It looks nice. But let's fly into it, mate, then, just in case. There's so much has happened this week. But we talked last week about Jesse Lingard and what an up and down week he'd had. Like he had missed... he had obviously sent United out and lost against Young Boys, and then he had been the hero against West Ham, or he was the hero against West Ham on in the league game. Mark Noble, the villain, in the league game, came on and missed a penalty, which we'll talk about in a minute. The substitutes coming on to take penalties, but then, of course, Mark Noble starts for West Ham in the week and had a pretty good game, but West Ham managed to somehow cling on to a 1-0 victory. As you're a United fan, it's been a rocky couple of weeks, really, hasn't it?
Bit of a whirlwind, yeah. You know, the Ronaldo coming, him like setting it alight, which most of us expected. But yeah, the obviously the winner in against West Ham, but then obviously defeat against Young Boys, and then obviously defeat on Wednesday. I wasn't sort of disappointed in the defeat on Wednesday. Disappointed with a couple of players because they had the chance and they didn't take it. But West Ham defended well, and we didn't really make any clear cut. I know
That one, wasn't it, from Greenwood?
Mason Greenwood should have scored when he come on, but he'd literally been on 30 seconds. That's what happens when you run forward. You make chances, and Martial just doesn't.
Well, let's talk about that. Like you mentioned, players who have been perhaps moaning for a chance in some cases, others just itching for a chance. I thought, from a United point of view, I thought Van der Beek was very good, and I thought 2 centre-backs were very good. I thought those 3 really took their chances in terms of you get 90 minutes, you've got to take your chance, you've got to perform. Whereas I thought Martial did nothing, and he just looks, because of his I don't know what it is, his playing style perhaps, and he's got such a laid back personality. When he doesn't do anything, it does look like he's doing nothing. But he didn't run in behind. He didn't really get going. He wasn't linking up the play. They
kept dropping too deep.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. They all kept going to the same position, didn't they? That sort of inside left position.
Yeah,
but
I totally disagree with Van der Beek. I thought he had a shock. It was his fault for the goal. He should have stood where he was.
It's interesting.
I thought he was trying too hard. And it just by leaving him on made it even worse. I felt sorry.
That's interesting. He
wasn't having such a bad game, but he brought him off.
I think with Matic,
no, not Matic.
He just
Matter.
Matter. Sorry, yeah, okay. I thought Matic, he just hasn't got the legs anymore. Yeah, it just hasn't got the legs. I mean, like you could see that he's still got the vision. He's still got it in his mind. He just hasn't got the legs to do it anymore, which is a shame because a great player. I just thought Van der Beek, he was probably at fault for the goal, but I thought his passing was pretty good, his movement was pretty good, and I thought at least he was trying something, whereas you looked at Martial, he was trying the wrong things.
Martial was totally chalk and cheese for Van der Beek. Van der Beek gave you 100%, but he didn't really play very well. Martial, when he doesn't play very well, doesn't give you 100%. So what's he doing there? At least Van der Beek will run about and he'll work hard for the team. Yes, he had a bad game, that can happen, but just felt sorry for him because he had a good chance to set a mark down and set a stamper down, and he didn't take it. So
how difficult is it for him though?
A few other players did, but a few other players didn't. So it's always difficult when you haven't played and you get thrown in. But they were the same. They changed 11 players, so
yeah. Mark Noble missed another sitter that he missed a sitter right at the end, I think it was, or towards the end.
But it's the 90th minute. It's on his left side, and he's took it with his right foot. He's just probably tired more than anything. Just swung his foot at it. I'm sure if that come in the 10th minute, he'd probably slot it away. But yeah, it was 90th minute. Don't even know what he was doing up there. The lungs on him. So yeah, it was a good effort. It would have capped off a weird week for him, and that's football. It's the same with just Lingard. He gives a goal away and he scores the winner. So sometimes that happens in football.
I tell you what, who was very impressive, I thought actually in both games, was Bowen for West Ham. We watched a lot of him in the Championship last year, and he was impressive. And when he first came to West Ham, they were playing him very right midfield, and he wasn't always getting the chances. But Moyes has gradually brought him in and more sort of central, and he gradually brought him into the team instead of just chucking him in at the deep end when he signed from Championship. And I think that's actually helped him because he kind of has played himself in. And I thought he was really impressive, particularly the Tuesday game. But I thought he was pretty good on Saturday as well.
Yeah, he always gives you good energy, and like you said, he's grown in quality. But it mustn't have been easy for him because I kind of found it weird when they signed him and then they put him out wide because he was a goal scorer. But he gradually can play both positions now, which is good for his CV and good for him to keep it playing in the start 11. So Yeah, I like him. I've always liked him when he first come to West Ham. He's got good energy and he's he's dangerous. He can assist and he can score your goals.
So I've got a couple of questions I want to ask you, specifically about kind of those two games, but then I want to move away from United a little bit, then onto some other stuff. But so the first question is, with Van de Beek, he didn't have much to aim at in terms of people running in behind, making runs for him, even to spray the ball out wide, because of Sancho kept coming inside, Mata's quite central as well. Whereas as soon as Bruno came on and Mason Greenwood come on, straight away you saw that Greenwood was bursting in behind and Bruno Fernandes found him. So do you feel that Van de Beek suffered a little bit because of the players in front of him, as well as maybe, like you said, you didn't think he played particularly well?
Well, yeah, because there's no one to run. There's no one to run past because Martial's constantly dropping deep. So there's two defenders, and it's just easy to defend. Certain players just don't mix well. You see it with Manchester City at the minute with Raheem Sterling. They're saying, "Well, what's going on with Raheem Sterling?" The problem you've got Raheem Sterling. He's giving you the same energy and the same performances, but he's not getting the goals because he's got David Silva right next to him, feeding him. It's totally different players that he's got next to him now, who are not feeding him the ball, who are not playing the ball across the line and he's giving like 2-yard tap-ins. He's not getting that anymore. Mahrez won't do that. Grealish won't do that. Who else is there? Gundogan, he won't do that. He's always running on forward. So he misses David Silva. So this is why it's important to have a good blend and a good balance in your team. Because if you haven't, it can kill other players and it killed Van der Beek because there was no one to run beyond because Martial kept on dropping deep and just wasn't working hard enough. As soon as Mason Greenwood come on, you can see the energy coming, run from midfield, straight away got an opportunity and should have scored. But he's making chances for himself, and sometimes you've got to do that with your work rate.
Yeah, it reminded me actually of last season when they had Cavani up front. They looked like dangerous as a team. When he was out, they looked a bit disjointed and weren't able to get the same quality going forward.
Well, if Cavani's took out Ronaldo, if Cavani's played in that game, we win comfortably 3-0. Comfortably.
Interesting. I'm assuming he'll be back soon. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what the issue is with him actually. And then my last question is, and someone just brought it up in the chat. GD Parry brought it up in the chat. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that Jurgen Klopp is to blame for the lack of penalties. I have to say, I don't know what United have to do to get a penalty at the moment. There was like several incidents over the two games.
There's a common denominator there. Manchester City one, Kyle Walker. Remember that? What was that? It was a Stonewall penalty.
Yeah,
the VAR
absolutely.
The VAR referee was Martin Atkinson.
Oh.
The referee against West Ham and Man United, who should have had West Ham should have had a penalty. 100%.
Oh, that was one of the most weirdest.
At least two penalties. The first one, the way he's pulled it back, is soft. But the same referee, Martin Atkinson. In life you get bad drivers. He's a bad referee. 100%. With that experience, should be getting better, not worse. And he's worse. He's terrible. How on earth can you not give that first Ronaldo penalty? How on earth can you not give the Wan-Bissaka one? He swiped him from behind.
That West Ham penalty was one of the most ridiculous decisions. I know.
The other way.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. So in life, you get bad drivers, bad anything. You get bad referees, and he's a bad one.
He did not have a good game. And this is the thing. I think we talked about this. Did we talk about this a couple of weeks ago about referees coming out and speaking after games? I would have loved to have heard, because obviously you had Match of the Day, you had Sky. Everyone's talking about these decisions because there was three, wasn't there, which were just blatant. And you just couldn't understand what the referee was seeing. So I'd love to know.
We watch the Six Nations and we hear the conversation between the video ref and the referee. It's very clear. And it's very simple. These people just complicate things. It's just pathetic. Why can't we hear their conversation between VAR and the referee? Why is it so secret? Was it a secret union? What's going on?
Well, in cricket, when you have
it shouldn't be just little mic. It should be all open so we can all hear it, and then things
Yeah.
will change. They won't be
Well,
so
if you look-
smart. They won't be so arrogant, and they'll have to play it by the book and not, bend the rule. Not bend the rules. That's a bit much, but just do the job.
Yeah. So, like, if you look at this, where you go rugby, the referees' conversations, they're all mic'd up. You can hear everything. The fourth official, you can hear. Cricket, the third umpire, the fourth umpire, you can hear everything, even when they're talking about if someone's out and they're going through it bit by bit, like LBW wickets, where the ball's pitched, all that stuff is all there for everyone to hear. It's part of the broadcast, makes it more exciting. It's exciting for the crowd as they're building up to and they're watching it step by step.
Well,
Rugby league, I think it's the same, isn't it?
The audience don't know what's going on.
No. What about NFL? Can you hear the referees in the NFL with the
same? He comes on the mic and says what's going on.
rugby league?
Rugby league's exactly the same.
So literally, football is like
it's not. You can't hear it, but you can. The referee's mic'd up, so you can hear his conversation.
Got you right. Okay.
And
So literally, football's the only one.
Pardon?
Football's the only one which is like behind other sports.
Yeah.
It's mental. And it makes you wonder why, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Martin Atkinson is like a cheat. I'm not saying that. But it does make you wonder if they're trying to hide something. Because
you've got video evidence to make your mistakes, with the mistakes you've made to put them right, not compound your mistakes and make them worse just because you're arrogant. Just do your job properly. That's it.
I think that the VAR decisions, there should be ex-footballers trained up in the rules of the game, and they should be part of the VAR team who review those decisions in the game should be a referee and an ex-footballer or someone who's not necessarily a referee who's part of that decision. Because to me, like you said, VAR's there to correct mistakes. And too many times over the last 3 or 4 weeks in various Premier League games, I've seen decisions not corrected. Even the Brighton Leicester game, the first goal, is it Elliott? No, Harvey Barnes. Sorry, was in the way of the key. He was in the keeper's eye line. Great decision. Second goal, he's not in the keeper's eye line. So when that went to VAR, they should have corrected the decision, and they didn't. As you said, they're compounding a bad decision instead of correcting a wrong decision, which is the whole point of VAR. And that's a problem for me. And for anyone like myself who was not entirely convinced by VAR in the first season or two that it's been used, but then during the Euros, I was convinced. I was really impressed with how they used VAR in the Euros.
You got better
and
referees.
Now it's gone backwards.
You got better referees. When you play with anything, you play with better people. You get better results. You play with poor refs, and
yeah, I don't like it. But so obviously I was just looking then at the comment which Solskjaer's referring to is back in January. Klopp said that I hear now that Man United have had more penalties in 2 years than I've had in 5.5 years. Do you think comments like that from Klopp and from other managers, because there's always comments going back and forth about VAR and about referees and who gets the most penalties, why we don't get penalties, blah blah blah. Like, do you think those types of comments have any effect on referees?
Yes,
or do you think they could bring it up?
100%. When these referees get together and they look at the stats and they look how many penalties Man United have got last year, that does affect their judgment. Where some of them probably are soft penalties. So unless they're absolute stonewall penalties, which one of them, the second one you can argue he's going down, but he's still not got the ball and he shouldn't be making a tackle like that. It's a penalty. The third one's soft, so you won't give it. But the two penalties and the other one for West Ham, it's just penalties. And it's sick, it's boring talking about it. It's the best league, one of the best leagues in the world. You should have the best referees. I don't care if they're not English. You need the best referees. Yeah,
100%. And I think, and I said this when VAR came out, if you're not going to use it properly, then don't use it. And that's I stick by that.
Best referees, Mark Clattenburg, one of the best referees. Why can he go somewhere and work in a different country? Why can't other referees, better ones, come work in his country?
Well, did you see? I read an excerpt from his book this week, Clattenburg, and he said the reason he left was it was something to do with Jose Mourinho when he was a United manager. He was like right up in his face, and after the game, and he said he was in his changing room and he was so frustrated that he like threw his boots or something against the wall. But how much of that frustration is because he's not allowed to go and speak to the media after the game and say, "This is why I did this. This is why I sent this person off." This, do you know what I mean?
You're not going to get thrown in jail for expressing yourself. You could do what you want.
Making a mistake. Yeah. Interesting.
If he's that frustrated about it, talk about it. You know what, you're going to get suspended for a couple of weeks, and if it's an argument that people agree with, then he's going to get a slap on the wrist. But to leave the game and leave the country, he was a good referee. So
he was, yeah.
So he loved himself a bit, but he was a good referee.
Well, he also addressed. He said people criticising him because he had those Champions League tattoos after he refereed the finals, and people were like mocking him and criticising him and this and that. And he said,
"That's Si, come on, that's just people mocking him on Twitter. Oh, come on."
Yeah, I think the other thing as well with that is like he said, like if any other person in any other job, if you get like most people have got tattoos of things that have happened in their life that mean something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's obviously what the issue is. But why has he took it to heart? If you just brush things like that off, it's pathetic.
Yeah, it's bizarre, mate. He seemed to take a lot of stuff very personally, but like you said, he's got a bit of an ego on him, so I don't know whether that's got something to do with it.
He's one of players are like it. Some players you treat like shit, and you'll get the best out of them. Some you've got a moddy cuddle, and you've got to treat different. He's the one that you like to say, "Oh well, love you, Mark." Blah, blah, blah. He's not getting that. He takes his ball home. Oh,
yeah, I like it. Who stood out for you this week away from United and West Ham game?
What this week?
So you had the Carabao Cup. Brighton again, mate. Brighton have been so impressive.
Brighton are doing well, but it's still early. Liverpool looks strong. Chelsea looks strong.
Brentford 2-0 and 7-0.
Arsenal seem to be back on their feet. I know it was only Wimbledon, but you still got to win these games. Tough away from home.
So me and you got the Tottenham-Chelsea game drastically wrong. I went for a draw. You went for a Spurs 1-0. Chelsea won 3-0. Is Harry Kane turned up yet? Oh, I don't know if Rhodri's if his Wi-Fi's gone. Ask me some questions, guys, just while I see if he's gonna return. Hopefully he can, because I would like to get a bit more time with him, but we'll see how it goes. So, guys, just a little bit of housekeeping while I wait for him to come back. Sunday night, Danny Batten Fight Show. We're joined by boxer Lloyd Germain. He's got a fight coming up at the start of August, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, unfortunately, because Rhodri's in his new studio, he hasn't got the Wi-Fi and stuff set up, so he's using his phone to just to set some stuff up and just to because he wanted to do the show. But yeah, if you've got any whatsoever, any questions for myself, who do I think will win the Carabao Cup? Probably Man City. I would like to see someone different this year. It'd be nice if someone else could win it, shall we say. But yeah, I'd like to see Man City perhaps do it. Maybe Chelsea. I think Chelsea could win everything this year if they can keep going, because Chelsea just look super strong. Yes, indeed. Donna says, please watch Lloyd's fight 8th of October. Did I say August? I do apologise. October, start of October, Lloyd Germain is fighting, but he's on Danny Batten Fight Show this Sunday, 8 o'clock live. You can ask him questions. There's also a massive UFC card this week, and Anthony Joshua is fighting Isk, so it's going to be a very eventful show. I'd like to ask Rhodri a couple of those questions which you sent in, but I've got a feeling his battery might have been decimated where he was using it for a Wi-Fi signal. But we'll see if he returns. I'm going to hang around for a little bit anyway, and we'll talk about some stuff. Let's have a look what we could talk about. So, yeah, I think Chelsea probably the most likely to win the Carabao Cup. We said, but yeah, Burnley, when I think it was like 2 seasons without a penalty, maybe even more than that. And in that time they had a few penalties, which they should have had. Kate Charles says, hopes Anthony Joshua gets sparked out. I think he will, people are really underestimating Si. A very, very good fighter. I think particularly if it goes past the first few rounds, Joshua might get unstuck. But equally, I think everyone's looking forward to Joshua versus Fury. I actually think there's a bit of a chance that they could both lose against Isk this Saturday, and then Fury obviously fights Deontay Wilder. There's a big chance, I think, that they could both lose, which actually, in terms of making them fight against each other, you kind of either want them both to win or both to lose so that they can still sell the fight. Because if Fury wins and Joshua loses, I think it's a bit more difficult to promote that fight, and vice versa as well. So it does become problematic. Let's have a look. Let's talk a bit about Cardiff and Championship football as well. Middlesbrough are doing very well. I spoke to Andy the other day. Middlesbrough ladies are doing it very well. The first team and the reserves. I think the reserves might be unbeaten actually. So yes, Andy's had a very good start to his return to management. Also, let's have a look. What do we want? We want Championship football. Bring up the fixtures. Who do you guys think will win the Carabao Cup? So let me know that. Also, let me know who you think might win the Championship. So we had a little prediction show at the start of the season. How has your predictions changed since then? Obviously, the season's in full flow. Bournemouth are flying at the top. Fulham stuttered a little bit, but they're at the top. West Brom, Coventry still up there. Stoke, good start. Blackburn, Cardiff back down in 10th. You got Derby, Forest, and Hull City in the bottom 3. Now that is absolutely some massive football clubs there in the reserve, in the relegation zone. And then obviously you got Middlesbrough down to 15th now, but they've been doing all right. So look at some of these questions. Donna says Brighton to win the Carabao Cup. I actually think that's not a bad shout. But what you'd need for that to happen, in my opinion, is you need like a Chelsea to play Man City or Liverpool. You need the big teams to clash against each other. I think West Ham would have a good chance again if Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool go out of the Carabao Cup. I think that opens it right up. You need them to be playing each other, really. Reece says, I want Arsenal to win it for Arteta. I think Chelsea might take it more serious. I think there's a reason why Man City take it seriously, because they know that if you pick up a trophy in April or whatever it is, March, April time, the Carabao Cup final, it sets you up for the run-in so well to win a trophy so early in the season. I really think that that's a good way of looking at it. So it's interesting. GD Parry says West Ham are due something. Remember that FA Cup against Liverpool in 2006? Yeah, that was brutal for them. And Reece says winning breeds winning, absolutely. And I'm surprised more Premier League clubs, especially the top clubs, the size of their squads, they should take it more seriously. Coventry will shock a lot of people, says Kate Childs. Said it since day one. Yeah, I think, look, Coventry last year were exceptional for a team who had come up from League One. They never looked in danger, never at any point looked in danger of being relegated. And I think they brought a couple of players in, and then since then they've been flying this year. You know, they've only lost 2 games. Sorry, they've got a pretty good goal difference. They haven't conceded too many. Only conceded 6 goals all season, which is the same as Bournemouth, who are at the top. Bournemouth have just scored a couple more. It's certainly interesting. Cardiff have made a bid to be part of the standing trial, which is good. I hope that comes in. Safe standing, I think, is vital to bring in atmospheres to grounds and making atmospheres better in grounds. I think safe standing will only help with that. I was interested by Mick McCarthy's comments about young Ruben Corwell. Said the emotion of the weekend's game where he had scored that brace had kind of shattered him and he was exhausted, and that's why he didn't play as well in the midweek game. I thought that was interesting, because if he thought that, then why did Ruben Corwell play? He also talked about Jefferson Lerma's tackle on Kieran Brown in the Bournemouth game. I thought he was very lucky to escape a red card. I thought it was a bit naughty, but I thought that Gary Cahill's reaction and behaviour kind of distracted the referee a little bit. Very clever from a very experienced player. But got any questions? Send them in. What else we got in the comments? Does Andy manage the reserves as well? I don't know if he manages them, but he is involved heavily with everything around Middlesbrough ladies. So I don't think he's necessarily the first the coach of the reserves, but he is heavily involved in every aspect of Middlesbrough ladies. How about I did my Super 6 earlier in the week. Easy peasy. Done it. I reckon I'm going to get a full house this week. Feeling confident. Very confident. We didn't get Rhodri's predictions for our little competition this week, which is a shame. But would you like us? What should we do predictions for this week then, people? Should we go Championship, League One, Premier League? What should we look at for the show this week? Whatever you fancy, you tell me, and we'll do the predictions for that league. I have reminded Rhodri, but I'll speak to him later when he gets home. And he's back. There we go. I didn't expect him to return, so there we go. Excellent. You all right, buddy? Nope. Where is he? You all right, mate? Battery died.
Yeah, I've just come to my car.
See what a legend. Didn't want to give up, mate. Didn't want to give up. I did think that we were just discussing the championship and stuff. And
battery died. It's charging slowly, so in the car it charges quick. So
there we go, mate. Wicked. So you had a couple of questions for you actually, which I was going to throw to just as you cut out. So the first one was, K Child says, have you got any tattoos? Oh, you cut out again. You there, mate?
Breaking up.
You there, mate? You there, mate? Yeah. It's difficult. You're breaking up a little bit.
Tattoos?
Yeah. Do you have any tattoos?
Do you have any tattoos? I do, yeah. I have one. Well, you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, go
on. Comedy on Biff on my hand, on my arm.
Nice. Like it. Love it, in fact. And then Reese said, how would you have managed Rhodri Giggs as a player? Would you have shouted or would you have put your arm around the shoulder?
No, I would have shouted. Arm round the shoulder. And you didn't really need to be honest. Probably a little poke up the arse every now and again. But yeah, I was, I didn't really necessarily love football. I love to compete. So anytime I'm competing, you don't really need to wind me up or put your arm around me or I don't know. Yeah, probably shout though, if anything.
Yeah. Donna says, who was the fastest when you were younger, you or Ryan? Oh, he's gone. Yeah, unfortunately, this week we just got a little bit of an issue with Rhodri's connection. He's trying his best, mate, guys and girls, but it's unfortunate. Yes, indeed, petrol. Sure, don't get me started on petrol. Jesus, what is wrong with people? It's like just the rush to like seeing as though there's a shortage. Well, there wasn't a shortage, but now there is because you all rushed out and bought 100 quid's worth of petrol, which you're not going to use as you use your car once a week. Ridiculous. People just don't understand it. People. Oops. All right, buddy.
It should be good now.
So Donna said, when you were younger, who was the fastest runner, you or Ryan? Yeah, I can hear you.
Ryan.
Donna, don't forget your question. Right, let's have a look. Have you done your Super 6 for this week, mate?
No, that's what reminded me. Started talking at the start. I need to do it tonight. It's tomorrow, isn't it? 12 o'clock.
Yeah, you got to follow. We've got to follow up that week, mate.
I remember, and I always remember about 3 o'clock. Then it's too late, so I'm going to do it tonight.
Indeed. So what we'll do, mate?
I do an FN. Go on.
I was going to just say we'll do our predictions now because we'll have a look at how we did against each other in a minute. What were you going to say then?
No, nothing. Go on.
Oh, a few people asking what car you got, mate, as well. Nosy bastards.
BMW.
Nice. See, all the best people got BMWs. I find.
It's the first time I've done, to be honest. I usually have an Audi or but BMW. I like this one, so I got it last year. Got it about a year.
Yeah, I got a Beamer as well. I always wanted one, like no particular reason. Just wanted one, like, and I just made the decision. I've had it about 18 months now, but I do like it. But then I had when that woman drove into me last year, I had a Mercedes A-Class as a hire car, and then that was like just another level of smoothness. It was so nice to drive. When I had my BMW back then, I was like, this is a piece of shit.
To be fair, all these new cars are alright to drive now, to be honest.
Yeah, they're all smooth, aren't they?
Really nice to drive.
Like it. Right, mate. We're going to do... So let's have a look at our predictions from last week, because I got a feeling you did all right and I didn't. But let's have a look. So we'll be looking.
We got the one wrong, didn't we? We thought we spot on at half time.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I texted you and said, see, we know what we're talking about. Swansea are 3-0 down. We said 6-0. And then they come back.
Yeah, you jinxed that, didn't you?
I did. I should have waited till full time to text you to celebrate. But, yeah. But there we go. It is what it is. So, for the Leeds game, Newcastle Leeds, you had 3-2. I had 4-3, and it stayed 1-1. So we both done rubbish there. Wolves, Brentford, you had 2-0. I had 1-0. So you had that one spot on. Oh, no, you didn't. You had 2-0 Wolves, and it was 2-0 Brentford. There we go.
I had Wolves, yeah. You had Brentford. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. I had 1-0 Brentford. Arsenal, I went for Burnley. You went for Arsenal. So we both went for Liverpool. And we both went for Man City to give Southampton a drubbing. That didn't happen. That was a draw. And then we had Watford. I went for Watford. You went for Norwich. So we'll have to we'll total them up. But this week, it's going to be, we'll go with Premier League again, I think. So you've got, I'll make a note of them. But yeah. So first and foremost, Chelsea, Man City, mate. What you got?
Chelsea, Man City.
It's difficult, isn't it?
That's a 1-1 if I ever did see one.
1-1. I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea. Just got a feeling. United Villa, 12:30.
United Villa. United Villa's usually a 3-1. So I'm going to go stick with that 3-1.
That's 3-1 to Villa, you're saying, yeah?
Yep, and Ronaldo to score again. Keep that run going.
Yeah, I'll go, I think 3-0. Everton, Norwich.
Everton, Norwich. Oof. Just thinking it's Everton, but how many? Well, 2-0. 2-0. Be nice to Norwich. Even though it'll be more.
I'm going to go 2-0 for that one. And then...
2-0?
Yeah, I got a feeling, mate, Norwich.
Everton. You know, far.
I don't know. How far is it?
That is a trek. That is a trek. It is a trek. It's at least.
See, I'm no good with geography, me. Oh, right. Yeah. Everton haven't impressed me this year at all.
6-hour journey today.
Brutal.
Yeah, but
surely they'll fly.
Okay. What?
They fly? Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, Norwich have been on fire. So I'm going for that.
Yeah.
2-0. Leeds, West Ham. Oh, that's going to be feisty.
Leeds, West Ham. West Ham are on the up. I'm going to go West Ham 2-1.
2-1, you say, yeah?
Antonio back.
He back, yeah. He's quality.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-1 to West Ham. Leicester versus
Premier League team as well, my fantasy team.
Antonio.
I've just got Antonio. I've just subbed him on my fantasy. Yeah, I've just got him. Got rid of.
Is he good?
Get rid of. I think it was either Watkins or Ings. One of them two went.
Yeah, they're not good. They don't score many, do they? Watkins, Ings. Ings is good, but he just seems to always pick up injuries, like just little niggly ones. What we got? Leicester, Burnley.
Leicester, Burnley. Is that Leicester? Can't keep going 3-1, can I? Did Leicester play in the week?
I'm not sure. I don't think they did they? They must have. Leicester.
4-0. 4-0 Leicester.
Oof. 4-0 Leicester from Rhodri Giggs. That's a. Oh, I'm going to go. I think it's going to be much more low scoring than that. I even think Leicester 2-1. I think fancy Burnley might nick a goal. Leicester 2-1. Yeah, Leicester beat Millwall 2-0 in the week.
Okay.
Watford, Newcastle. Newcastle upon Plain.
Newcastle 1-0.
To the Newcastle. I'm going to go with Watford on that one. I'm going to go 1-0 Watford. Brentford versus Liverpool. Two high scorers of the last couple of weeks.
I was gonna say Brentford. Then I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2. I'm gonna go with 4-2 to Liverpool. I think it's going to be a high scorer.
That's probably more realistic, isn't it?
I just think Brentford, they'll concede because, Liverpool look very good, but I fancy them to score as well. And then on Sunday, we got Southampton versus Wolves.
One.
1-1. I'm going to go 1-0 Southampton. And then Arsenal Spurs. Feisty again. A few feisty ones this week.
Arsenal Spurs. Ooh. Arsenal have picked up, but Tottenham have been rubbish. But it's a derby in it, so yeah. I'm gonna go Tottenham 3-1. Another 3-1.
Went for Spurs last week as well, and didn't work out. I just got. I think Arsenal might finally. They don't very often smash Spurs, but Spurs have got to pick up at some point, haven't they?
Change
they
that.
can't.
Change that to 2-1, not 3-1. 2-1.
2-1. 2-1 Spurs for you. I'm going to say 3-0 Arsenal. And then the final Premier League game of the week is Crystal Palace versus Brighton.
Crystal Palace versus who?
Brighton. Both doing quite well.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Palace.
Palace. So 1-0 Palace for you. I'm going to go... see, Brighton have been so good this year. Been really, really impressed with them. But I quite like Vieira's Palace as well. I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton. I think Brighton will continue their good run, even though I think it's going to be very difficult. Because I like Palace. I thought Palace against Spurs were really good. Zaha has been exceptional. I think England missed a trick not capping Zaha before he changed the allegiances.
Yeah, 100%.
They should have, shouldn't they? Because he was in the squad, wasn't he, a couple of times?
He's a game changer. He's a player that can make the difference. He can be a winner of a game, and England have got a few of them. And ironically, they don't seem to the left. So yeah, it's
interesting.
Would he even played? You've got Grealish, you've got Sancho, you've got Rashford, you've got Foden. Still probably wouldn't get a look, and he should be probably top of that list.
Yeah. He hasn't quite. I still think he's an exceptional player. I just think he hasn't quite gone on where I thought he was going to go at one point. When he signed for United, I thought he was about as guaranteed a success as you can be as a young player, and he just didn't happen, did it? Obviously, there was rumours about him having issues with Moyes, and
he went to United. He made some mistakes. He seems a bit of a maverick, so and people don't like that. I like him as a player and like him as an individual. He's just, Man United was too early for him. It's as simple as that. So, but yeah, he needs to move on for Palace now.
A couple of questions for you. Is it time for United to cut ties with Anthony Martial?
Yeah, just cash in with him. Cash in and yeah.
Still get a good price for him, wouldn't they? Now, even now.
100%. Oh, you get your money back. They paid 50 million for him. They get that back and change. So he's still if playing right and the right people around him, he'll get you 15, 20. It's just you need to get him that extra 25, 30. You want him to get to is probably a stretch. That's why he's probably going to have to leave United.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I think if he went to Arsenal, went to Spurs, West Ham, anywhere like that, I think he would do really well.
Yeah, 100%.
be interesting where he goes. And United will probably
all day. I see him. All day I see him at Tottenham.
Yeah, I think he would fit really well there. Last couple of questions then from the live chat. Donna says, "Do you go and watch United play weekly?"
Weekly, no, not anymore. I used to week in, week out for years, but no, you got kids and you got other things that are going. If I can get there, I'll go. But yeah, not. When was the last time I went to Old Trafford? Last year. Yeah, last year. Certainly.
If you had the choice, would you go to an away game or a home game?
Oh yeah, an away game. 100%.
All day long.
Away games are totally different experience. You know, and that's what I used to do. I used to go away so that you get up in the morning, you meet, you get in the train. It's the old experience, and you know, obviously, mostly every time we won, even if we went down. So it'd be a great ending, and you get home. And, yeah, it's a long day, but yeah, away easily. Where home, you leave your house at 2:30, you get to the ground for 2:45, and you watch the game, and then you leave 5 minutes before the traffic. So totally different experience.
Yeah, 100%. I always preferred away days to home games, 100%. What else questions we got?
You're not just gotta keep your nut down in certain areas, certain postcodes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely got it. You can't. Yeah, you just got to watch what you're saying when you're in certain areas, I suppose. Yeah.
Some scary places, coming out in the back.
There's some ropey places, mate. All over the place, isn't it?
Thinking of a few: Birmingham, Leeds, Chelsea,
Millwall.
There's a few back there. Yeah. We didn't really.
Millwall was always tasty.
Millwall, did we? So.
No, I suppose you didn't. We did.
We're always tasty as well.
Stoke Millwall was always an interesting trip.
Stoke.
What else we got? Donna says, "Have you ever met Ronaldo? If you have, what's he like?"
I've never met Ronaldo. You know, but by that time I was. What time did NZ come? 2003. When I was probably stopped going every week, or I probably stopped going about 2001, 2002. Regularly, if go every now and again, but yeah, never even crossed paths with him. Yeah, so I never really bothered the players anyway. Obviously, when Ryan was living across from David Beckham and he grew up with them lot, so I kind of knew them lot, and I knew a few other players because I used to go out in town. Andy Cole, Dwight York, so yeah, a few others, but never really bothered him. Come over and speak to him, but yeah, I never really bothered because he always used to get pestered and mithered. So I was never one for asking for autographs or asking for pictures. Just didn't do it.
GD Parry says, "Were you there when Cardiff beat United 2-0 at Old Trafford? 2019.
No, I wasn't there. No, I wasn't there. No. It's a good day though.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a very good one. Right. I know you got to chip off, mate. So we'll be back to normal next week anyway in terms of connection and stuff. Apologies, but Rhodri, dedicated as he was.
I'll be up and running next week. I'll be up and running next week. We'll be good to go.
Back to normal, good to go. But guys, lots of things coming up in the future. So keep a lookout for that. Join me for the Danny Bam Fight Show on Sunday, where we have boxer Lloyd Jermaine joining us. We'll be talking UFC from tomorrow night, and plus Anthony Joshua's fight, and any other news and bits from the week. And yeah, lots of live shows and stuff coming up. So do join us.
Big UFC card this weekend as well.
Oh yes, yeah, massive UFC card tomorrow. Anthony Joshua's fighting. It's going to be a late night. Yeah, Nick Diaz, mate. How do you see him, his return going after so long?
Yeah, he's cardio machines, aren't they? So yeah, can obviously, I don't know. You can go either way. You don't really know because he's been out a long time. But you know, the way they carry themselves, he's not going to come in and be a mug, is he? So he's going to be ready to go. You think, you know, he's going to be like Robbie Law. You know, Robbie Lawler's no mug either. So
No.
we'll wait and see. But then they've got the women fight, and we got Ortega and Volkanovski, which will be decent. So it's a good card.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a late one tomorrow night. I'm gonna stay up as late as I can and watch as much as I can, and then watch the rest in the morning.
Do that, and then I always do that. Watch as much as I can, then just fall asleep and just watch on YouTube in the morning. Yeah,
I can never get through it all these days as much as I want to. But like it's on BT Sport, but like the old IPTV is always handy. Right, guys, girls, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Spread the word. Me and Rhodri will be back next Friday, not next Wednesday. Next Friday. Should have a Super Kevin scripted next week as well. But join me Sunday. See you later. Thanks for joining us. It's always good.
Giggs. Giggs. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion, Messi is better than me, but in my mind, I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me.